Brought to you by Penguin. The 12 Days of Christmas, a collection of short stories in 12 staves, by Susan Stokes-Chapman, read by Charity Wakefield. Oh, you merry, merry souls, Christmas is a-coming. We shall have flowing bowls, dancing, piping, drumming, delicate mince pies to feast every virgin, capon and goose likewise, brawn and a dish of sturgeon. Then for your Christmas box, sweet plum cakes and money, delicate Holland smocks, kisses sweet as honey. Hey, for the Christmas ball, where we shall be jolly, jigging short and tall, Kate, Dick, Ralph, and Molly. Then to the hop we'll go, where we'll jig and caper. Maidens all a row, Will shall pay the scraper. Hodge shall dance with Prue, keeping time with kisses. We'll have a jovial crew of sweet, smirking misses. From Roundabout Our Coal Fire, or Christmas Entertainments, 1730, by Anon, Dick Merriman. Stave 1. Of Fruits and Follies. A partridge in a pear tree. It is typically considered that a tale such as this should end with a wedding, rather than begin with one. But at this moment the residents of Merrywake were installed within the garlanded pews of Wakeley Church, quiet witnesses to the marriage between the darling of the county of this shire, and indeed of her honourable parents, the eldest Pepin daughter to one Nicolas Toussaint. Such a marriage had instilled somewhat mixed feelings in the congregation. That the gentleman was rich could not be disputed, nor the fact the couple appeared to be matched rather admirably in disposition, for Juliet was kind, and Nicolas more than passing amiable. So too was the lady considered a veritable beauty, and her smiling suitor extremely handsome. To many, these facts alone were enough to soothe any niggling doubts that might have lingered. Who, after all, could deny the happiness present on the young couple's faces as they stood before one another at the candlelit altar? Yet it could also not be denied that Seigneur Nicolas Toussaint was a Frenchman, a matter which roused much mistrust. Of course, it was widely known the Pepins were of French extraction themselves, but that family had long been settled in Merrywake, where 4 out of the 5 daughters were brought into the world, all of them educated in the manner of English customs, and so very well too that one scarce remembered to hold their lineage against them. Viscount Pepin himself stated publicly he had no sympathy for little Boney and his now thwarted ambitions, and if it had not been for an old childhood injury in his left shoulder, the Viscount would have willingly fought under Wellington's helm. With no sons to call to military order, the Pepins were far removed from the conflicts which had so long reigned overseas. Yet not all the residents of Merrywake could boast of such a remove. The twilight days of 1816 saw Wakeley Church's pews possessed of vacant seats once belonging to sons and husbands, cousins and nephews, so too fathers and brothers. And though it was Christmas Day, and a wedding at that, which should have occasioned utmost joy in the hearts of everyone in attendance, the sight of Toussaint sliding a gold ring onto his pretty wife's finger still felt rather raw to some. For Miss Frances Partridge, sitting as far back in the church as propriety would allow, considering her position as a lady's maid, she gave not one fig her mistress had fallen in love with a Frenchman, beyond what such a circumstance would mean for her future. Frances teased the skirts of her finest wool gown between cold-tipped fingers, and kept her head assiduously bent, making sure, as she always did, not to raise her eyes in the event she might catch a certain someone's gaze. That was a hurt long...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?